Often on social media, we see people touting skincare creams and treatments as miracle products, but is there any truth to that? Today, I'm going over skincare scams that you should stay away from. I'm Dr. Sam Ellis, and I'm a board-certified dermatologist in Northern California, and I'm here to help you understand your skin and find products that work for you. So if that sounds good, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna start off by sharing some skincare scams, but afterward I'm gonna share what does work, so make sure to stick around for that. I feel like as a dermatologist, I have to kind of look out for you guys because there's so many false claims made on Instagram and TikTok where you see these amazing before and afters, and then patients are coming into my clinic showing me these being like, does this actually work? Like, should I buy this? Or even worse, like, hey, Dr. Ellis, I went and bought this and I did not get the results that it showed. So I'm trying to save you time, money, and your effort so that you don't waste any of it. I expect to get some pushback for saying this, but one of the things that I think is the biggest skincare scam is paying for overpriced moisturizers with just like basic skincare ingredients. As all of us know, moisturizer is a really important part of your skincare routine. It helps soften the skin, it helps your skin hold on to hydration, and it certainly can make your skin look better. But so many times luxury brands are pricing their moisturizers at $100, $200, $300 plus dollars when they don't really add that much additional value to your routine than a basic moisturizer. I don't love putting brands on blast, but I do feel like I owe you some examples. So things like La Mer, Augustinus Bader, Dr. Sturm. And it's not to say that they aren't wonderful moisturizers that feel good on your skin, but you could achieve similar results with something that is so much more affordable. If you're someone who is saving up for your skincare or for your skincare procedures, this is not the place to invest. However, if you're someone who has a lot of disposable income and you like these products and you enjoy using them, and there's something that feels good about using a luxury product or a luxury brand, like, go ahead, keep using them, but I don't think you can expect miracle results from these types of moisturizers. And kind of in that same vein of expensive miracle moisturizers, another skincare scam is collagen creams. And again, it's not that these are bad moisturizers, but I think the way they are marketing them as collagen creams is intended to make the consumer think, if I use this cream that has collagen, that collagen is either getting deposited into my skin or is going to help me form new collagen. And that's not what these do. Collagen as a skincare ingredient acts as a humectant, something that binds and holds water in the skin's surface. So you can get some temporary plumping, it can help soften the skin, but it's not going to help you form new collagen. And that's why I feel like it's kind of scammy. For example, First Aid Beauty, which is a brand I really love, has something called a firming cream, and it has collagen in it. And I actually love that cream. It's a wonderful moisturizer, but it's not going to firm up your skin because it has collagen in it. And it's just so important to understand that. So I'm not the biggest fan of overpriced moisturizers or collagen creams, but another skincare cream category that I feel like is pretty scammy is those that are marketed to treat stretch marks and cellulite. Research shows that the #1 determinant of whether or not you get stretch marks or you get cellulite is genetic. I feel like the marketing around stretch mark creams and cellulite creams really prey on women specifically and their insecurities. And it really makes you hopeful. When you're in a desperate situation where you're like, I'll try anything, you'll pay a lot for something that doesn't have that much evidence behind it. And I feel very strongly that that applies to stretch mark creams and cellulite creams. Let's start with stretch marks. These are essentially scars in your skin that are caused by the rupture of collagen and elastin fibers as the skin stretches. You'll often see advertising around special oils or creams that you can use on your belly during pregnancy to prevent stretch marks, but almost none of those have any foundational scientific claims that can be backed up with research. And anytime I talk about stretch marks, I will always get comments that are like, well, I used bio oil on my belly during pregnancy and I didn't have a single stretch mark. That is so wonderful, but that's not the bio oil. That is just what your body is naturally doing. If you want more details on what actually works for stretch marks, I do have an entire YouTube video dedicated to that. And I almost have a deeper issue with creams that are marketed to improve cellulite because cellulite is such a deep problem within the skin. It's about the interplay between your fat and your connective tissue and the skin, and the issue really lies so much deeper than where most skincare could ever reach. Cellulite is a really tricky thing. It's something that so many people deal with no matter your body size. It's very much genetically predetermined, and if there was one thing that worked incredibly well on cellulite, it would be sold everywhere. The person who invented it would be a billionaire because everyone would get it. But that's just not the case. There is nothing that has consistently been shown to be used topically to help with cellulite. Now, you will often see specialty creams that are marketed as cellulite creams that contain caffeine. And the reason for that is caffeine has been shown to help shrink fat cells and offer a little bit of remodeling. However, there haven't been any large-scale studies to show that topical caffeine can actually reduce the appearance of cellulite consistently. Luckily, a lot of these cellulite creams aren't particularly expensive, and they are nice moisturizers, if nothing else. So if you wanted to try it and see if it offered some improvement to your thighs or your buttocks, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world to spend your money on that, but I think you have to really temper your expectations. All right, moving on from creams, another skincare scam that I think is absolutely not worth your money is any type of facial cleansing brush. The only tool that you need to cleanse your face with is your fingertips. If you grew up in the early 2000s, the Clarisonic facial cleansing brushes were everywhere. And I feel like they did a really good job marketing themselves and making people feel like they weren't appropriately cleansing their face with their cleanser and their fingers. And now other brands have sort of taken that idea and ran with it. For example, Foreo or PMD, or even these sort of generic silicone facial scrubbers that are marketed to teens and adults. It's really normal to feel like you might not be doing a good job cleansing your skin if you're getting little breakouts or blemishes, but so rarely does that have to do with hygiene and how you're cleansing your face. Instead, the best way to get your skin clean is to do something called a double cleanse. And not everyone will need a double cleanse. A single cleanse will be perfectly appropriate for some people, but a double cleanse allows you to remove your makeup and your skincare and really set your skin up for success in terms of absorbing all the other products you're going to put on it after you cleanse. And a double cleanse is kind of exactly what it sounds like. It's a two-step cleansing process where with the first round of cleansing, you're using either a cleansing oil, a cleansing balm, or some type of makeup remover to remove the vast majority of whatever is on your face. And then you're going in with a second cleansing step, which is usually with a water-based cleanser, like your typical pump from a bottle, lather it in, rub it on your face kind of wash. And that's just to remove everything else that didn't get removed with that first cleanse. And that might sound kind of intense for washing your face, but a double cleanse actually allows you to be more gentle with your skincare because you're doing two separate gentle steps rather than a single cleansing step that might require you to rub more harshly or exfoliate your skin more or use a harsher cleanser. And like I said, not everyone needs to do a double cleanse. I recommend double cleansing if you wear makeup or if you wear some type of water-resistant sunscreen. Otherwise, you can probably get away with one and that's just fine. But you certainly don't need a fancy brush or tool to wash your face. And it's not just that these brushes are unnecessary and add this extra step and cost to your routine, but they also can do a little bit of damage to your skin. One, they can get gross, like they can accumulate bacteria, and that's kind of the last thing you want to be introducing to your skin when you're cleansing. And two, they can cause additional unnecessary irritation to your skin. I know these brushes are quite soft and they don't feel particularly abrasive, but anytime you're introducing additional frictional forces to your facial skin, you run the risk of additional irritation as well. Moving on, another thing that I feel like is a little bit of a waste of your time and effort is face yoga. On social media, there has been a huge rise in these accounts that show that if you do certain facial exercises, your skin will transform and your face shape can completely change, and that's just not what the evidence shows. There is one small study in which people did facial exercises for 30 minutes a day, and they saw a very tiny improvement in the shape of their cheeks. And that's with 30 minutes of exercise just for your face every day. That feels so unreasonable. Also, anytime you are performing repeated muscle movements on your face, you run the risk of etching in lines and wrinkles. The whole point of Botox exists to relax your facial muscles so that you're unable to etch in those lines, and face yoga sort of does the opposite. Now, of course, I think there's something to be said for stretching, and you do have muscles in your face that might feel good if you massage them or stretch them out once in a while, but having a dedicated facial yoga routine is probably not gonna lend you very many cosmetic benefits. My next skincare scam is something that I'm gonna have to explain a little bit, but anything that's marketing itself as like acne-safe is a little bit problematic. Oftentimes, brands or products will market themselves as acne-safe because they don't have certain ingredients that they think might clog your pores. The problem with this is there's been no good, consistent scientific method to figure out which ingredients or formulations consistently clog people's pores. An ingredient might clog your pores if you put it at a 100% concentration on your skin and cover it up with plastic wrap or something like that. But when it's incorporated into an overall formulation, it loses its comedogenicy. And that's the real issue, is you're looking at the entire formula when you are determining acne safe rather than individual ingredients. Now, if a brand has done clinical testing where they've tried their product in its entirety on acne-prone skin and it's been shown to not cause acne, fine, market yourself as acne safe, and I'm okay with that. But if a brand is solely making that claim because they are free from certain pore clogging ingredients, I'm not cool with that. Another marketing tool or term that I really cannot stand is anything that's marketed as clean or clean skincare. The word clean in describing your brand or your products means absolutely nothing from a scientific standpoint. And as a brand founder myself, I completely understand why brands want to market themselves as clean or free from certain ingredients that the public perceives as dangerous or problematic, because they're trying to show like, hey, our skincare is safe. But the reality is any skincare that is available in the United States that you can purchase over the counter is considered safe. Skincare is not toxic. There are not toxic ingredients. You are not allowed to include toxic ingredients in your skincare. That's illegal. Not to mention, it's not exactly good for business to poison your customers. Not a day goes by on Instagram where I don't get a DM that asks for recommendations about clean sunscreens or clean moisturizers or a clean cleanser. And always I will message that person back and say, what do you mean by clean? And they kind of pause and they don't really know what to say. And that's because clean is an unregulated term that has no boundaries. The concept of clean skincare has also been perpetuated by certain apps and websites like the EWG and the Yuka app. These apps essentially give skincare products a rating based on how clean they are, and they're not founded in scientific evidence. If you talk to any reputable cosmetic chemist who formulates with ingredients and who makes skincare, they will tell you these websites are bogus too. Also, it's been shown that companies like EWG and the Yuka app have been paid by certain skincare brands, so there is a hidden agenda there in terms of guiding you towards certain products. So when something's marketed as clean, that does not mean that it is better or healthier for your skin, or that products that are not marketed as clean are unsafe. So if you've been using products and then they show up on the app as problematic, do not throw them away. If they've been working for your skin, it's completely safe to continue using those. Another scam I want to talk about, and this isn't really skincare, it's more hair care, but I think it's also important, is castor oil. Over the years, I've put out a lot of content as it relates to hair growth and eyelash growth, and always on those videos, I get lots of comments about the benefits of castor oil for hair growth. Castor oil is something that has traditionally been used in a lot of cultures to aid in hair softening and hair growth, but there are no scientific studies that show that it actually improves hair growth or eyelash growth. As an oil, it can make a nice coating on the hair that can maybe improve the luster of the hair a little bit, and a lot of people may struggle to grow their eyelashes because their eyelashes are brittle or they break quite easily, and so castor oil might be able to soften them a bit, but it's still never been shown to actually help with those things. That being said, it's quite safe, so if you've been using castor oil and you find that it's helpful, fine, continue using it. There is a small ophthalmology study that shows that castor oil might help with blepharitis, which is kind of inflammation along the lash line. So if you're struggling to grow your eyelashes because you have chronically irritated, red, itchy eyes, using castor oil might help reduce that inflammation and allow you to grow better lashes, but I feel like that is a very niche use of this oil. So as much as TikTok would like you to believe that castor oil is the miracle oil when it comes to hair care, it's just not. When it comes to hair health and helping with hair brittleness, by far and away the most studied and most proven oil is coconut oil. So if you want to be using oil on your hair, maybe coconut instead. One final thing that I need to caution you about, and it is the scammiest of all the scams, and it really could threaten your personal health and well-being, is seeing a non-licensed medical professional for your dermatology needs. And you might say, okay, that's obvious. Of course I'm gonna go to someone who has training, but the reality is sometimes it can be hard to tell who's well-trained and who's going to give you safe treatments. Unfortunately, over the years as a practicing dermatologist, I've had patients come into me with complications because they were treated by someone who doesn't have experience, who doesn't have credentialing, who was using a foreign or fake product illegally injected into their skin. These are all real things that happen and affect you guys. So you always want to make sure that whoever is performing your dermatologic treatments, whether they are medical or cosmetic treatments, is well trained and vetted. If you're going to a place that the pricing feels like it's too good to be true, like you've never seen Botox that cheap or you've never seen fillers for that affordable, there's probably a reason. These days, cosmetic treatments are talked about so ubiquitously that they almost seem a bit casual, and it's so easy to walk into a clinic and say, yeah, I wanna do this or that, and people don't really pause and think about the fact that it is truly a medical procedure. But you need to take your health and your skin really seriously and make sure you're getting taken care of by someone who knows what they're doing. Now, I do wanna take a second to talk about a few skincare devices that are not total scams, but I do get questions on them quite frequently, and so these are kind of like things that maybe work or work in certain circumstances. So one thing I get questions about all the time along the lines of like, hey, is this a scam? Are microcurrent devices like NuFace or Zip that claim to tighten and lift the face? And I would not say that these are scams, because when used consistently, you can see small bits of tightening and reshaping of the face. However, you need to use them incredibly consistently and continuously to maintain those results. And this is always where I talk to my patients about know thyself. If you buy a multi-$100 device, will you actually do it for 15 or 20 minutes every day? Will you keep up with it? How long do you intend to do this? And if you're like, yeah, I've got 30 minutes for my routine every night, this is really important to me, I'm gonna stick with this, go for it. But I feel like in terms of all the things that could be helping your skin or getting you the results you want, that's not going to move the needle the same way an in-office treatment would. Another at-home skincare device that sort of falls into this category of if you're consistent with it, it's great, and if you're not consistent with it, then meh, are LED masks. LED masks usually have blue light or red light and or near infrared light. Blue light tends to help with things like acne, red light tends to help with things like anti-aging, and if you use them at home consistently, they can be helpful in addressing those concerns. However, there is an incredibly wide range of the type of mask you can get, the quality of mask you can get, so not all of these masks are created equal in what they can offer you. Also, these masks are not miracles, and I have an entire video dedicated to red light masks, and in that video I talk about how much I love my red light mask and how it's been helpful for my skin, because it has been. But if I could choose between only doing in-office procedures or only having my red light mask, I would do in-office procedures. However, I do recognize that a lot of people are already doing all the things for their skin. You're using the right skincare, you're doing the in-office procedures, and you're looking for other ways to boost your skincare regimen at home, and that's where these devices can be helpful. So what's not a scam and what actually works on your skin? One, good skincare. You often hear me talk about the skincare holy trinity when it comes to anti-aging and optimizing your skin health, and that is vitamin C, sunscreen, and some type of topical retinoid. Sunscreen helps protect your skin from UV radiation, which is the #1 cause of premature skin aging. Vitamin C is a well-studied antioxidant that helps protect your skin from environmental stressors and also helps you build collagen and even out your skin tone. And retinoids do all the things. They help you build new collagen, they help with fine lines, they even out your pigment, and they help with dullness and laxity. If you invest in nothing else when it comes to your skincare, if you have a vitamin C, a sunscreen, and a retinoid that you love, you're doing great. Now, even though skincare is a huge part of taking care of your skin, nothing's really going to do what an in-office procedure can do. That is where you make the most meaningful differences or improvements in your skin. So I always think of skincare as the thing that is preserving and maintaining your skin, and in-office procedures is where you are changing your skin in a more immediate fashion. So things like laser resurfacing, chemical peels, microneedling, these are all treatments that have an immense amount of data and support for their efficacy when it comes to transforming your skin. It's actually kind of funny because I do these procedures so often, and so many times a patient will finish their series of IPL or Fraxel laser and they'll go, wow, like my skin looks so good. And they act so surprised. And I'm like, of course they look good. These are really vetted things that have been proven time and time again to improve your skin. Now, those are a lot of the skincare scams that I run into in my day-to-day, but are there any skincare scams that you want to warn people about? Definitely let me know in the comments. As always, thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.